Hey guys, today I'm going to be running Ultimate Hera Rush with Awoken Haku. So as you can see, I'm using the same team as I did for my last video for Dragon Rush. First turn we get Hera. She's really dangerous because what she does is if you do have a water monster on your team, she'll bind all water monsters for 10 turns. And as you can see, both my leaders, Haku, have water as their sub-attribute. And she's actually she's not unbindable, she is bindable. So I'd pretty much get screwed first turn. So for most teams, I would suggest getting rid of her first turn. Second floor, we get Hera Is. Hera isn't as bad as the first floor, but she is pretty tough because first turn she will bind 5 random cards on your team. So it doesn't matter leader or sub, she'll bind any random 5. So I delay her with my Oku, as you can see, so I get a second turn. And then I pop a Haku active just to be safe, so I get enough damage to kill her. So I comboed decently, I guess, not too bad. I made a nice little cascade in the left corner. I don't get any Skyfalls, but that's alright, because that many TPAs is definitely enough to take her out, especially since she's already under half. So third floor, you can either get Extreme Fatty, which is really tough to take care of. That's actually the only reason Shiva is on the team, because of his defense break active. Or you can get Hera. Luckily enough, I got Hera, so she's really easy. She doesn't do much damage at all. She has a weaker attack and weaker... I think every one of her stats is weaker than anything else in this dungeon. And especially because Haku resists Dark. Honestly, I took barely any damage, so this was a perfect floor to stall on for all my skills. So I took a few turns to make sure I had all my skills up, because especially for the last floor, I would definitely need all my skills up, and it would just be nice to have them all up earlier in case I get orb trolled, or the biggest problem is probably heart troll. So here I get 6 combos with Dark TPA, does enough damage to kill her. And we're moving on to the fourth floor, which is Hera Bjork. Hera Bjork is a really big problem for light teams. So the main teams that I've seen clear this are Kirin and Kali, which are both light leads, as you know already. So because of her 10 turn light absorb, you're gonna have to stall it out for 10 turns. And it's not that she does much damage, but it's that she binds a random card for 3 turns, and that she also turns fire to wood. So it ends up stacking up quite a bit of damage at the end, especially if you get hard trolled or something. And a lot of people get to feel the pressure at some point when they're getting hard trolled, like I know I personally do all the time. So I actually take the opportunity to stall a bit because I killed Hera a bit too quickly. I overestimated her and I didn't realize she only had 2 million health. So I take a few turns to stall, get a ton of light orbs. Nothing else is really happening here. I'm just making sure I have Haku actives up. And I actually just recently today, because Huang Zhang came back, I made my second Awoken Haku. I turned her into Awoken Haku. But sadly, I don't have her skilled at all or plus. So I don't even actually have her fully awoken. So she'd only really bring this team down. So here I pop a Haku active and I do go for the kill. So I get 6 combos, no Skyfalls at all. Not getting much Skyfall love today. I don't kill her, but luckily enough, I have over enough HP to tank Jupiter Genesis. Just remember, Jupiter Genesis is actually a 30,000 damage hit. So unless you do use a Dark Resist team, like the Haku team I use here, you would probably die from that. I know most combo leads would die from that. Like Kali, Oku, Anubis, most teams would die unless you use a defense active. Fifth floor, we have Hera Sawilo. Her preemptive is a skill bind. Luckily enough, every single monster on my team is a skill, well, not really luckily enough, I mean, I did put it there on purpose, that's how I build my teams, but every single monster on my team is 1 skill bind resist, so it's 120% skill bind resist. And after that, she doesn't really hit for too much, so she's actually not that hard to stall on, but I already had most of my skills up, so I tried killing her first turn. I didn't do enough damage. And then I went on here, and I completely forgot that she did a 3-turn countdown. As I said, I was running this blind. So I did pop a Decali active just to make sure I took her out. So as you can see, I don't get any more Skyfalls again. Kind of feeling sad at this point, but I did kill her. And now we're moving on to the final floor, DQ Hera. Man, this is the part that kills everyone. She has a 31,000 damage preemptive attack. So unless you have a Diza or Susanoo or some damage reduction active on your team, probably gonna die. Luckily enough, with Haku's resists, it went as planned. I tanked it perfectly, and I really just stall it out as long as I can, and I try not to do too much damage, because at a certain point, once you get her under 50% HP, she binds all God-type cards for 5 turns. And that has happened to me before, and that is honestly one of the most annoying things that can happen, because my only hope at that point would be to pop Nikali and get 6 Heart Orbs, but knowing my luck, and knowing luck in general and how Gung-Ho tends to work, I never really do get the 6 Heart Orbs. So here I pop a Panda and an Oku, because luckily enough she doesn't have a status shield, so the delay works along with the damage boost from Oku. So as you can see, I get one of my first Skyfalls. I get 7 combos here, hitting for a ton of damage, and that's the end of the run. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.